Okay. All right. So you got your brain priming, brain designing, brain priming, brain align, brain design. Number one, then is, let's go. So we have the find your fun. We have protect your melon, and then fine tune your energy. And under align, we are going to say gain your guardrails. One, and then strengthen your gifts, and then believe in belonging. I may be misspelling, I can't see. Okay, those are the three for aligning. And then we go into design. We're going to build your courage. We are going to angle your anger. We talked a little about that. And then we're going to expand your support. Good. Okay. And then, when usually when I have folks work with me, we kind of do a red, if you want to think of these as yellow, red, and green, So when we think about it, okay, find your fun. So usually people have some fun. So we'll put that in yellow. They have some fun throughout their week. We recommend to put it in your schedule, but we could talk about that. And we'll talk about the neuroscience of fun. Protect your melon. So that is like, who's taking your attention? What do you do to get ready for a busy week? What do you know about emotional synchrony? What do you know about distractions? And what do you know about how we're socialized in medicine? Those are the things that are we call it our protect your melon. So a lot of people that's still in yellow, they do some of that, but they don't know all of those parts. And then the fine tune, some people know how to kind of relax in the middle of a day. But we also talk and fine tune your energy. We talk about the power of nature, dispute those negative thoughts, and also to tune in to your emotional level, like throughout the day. And so we talk a lot about fine tuning. So some people are yellow, they know some of that. What about gain your guardrails? So that's usually a red because those are boundaries, and those are hard for people. So we work a lot about, and talk a lot about that within Brain Hammock, because those are hard for folks to stay consistent with. And it's really important to stay consistent with those. And then what about strengthen your gifts? Do you know your values? So I would say a lot of people are red in their strengths because they don't know, like they haven't really always taken a test. They don't like look at their workday according to their strengths. They don't know their values. So it really helps to have guardrails if you know your strengths and your values and you have it written down. And that's what we do in Brain Hammock. We just have it very clearly. We have a little picture of your face, and like these little circles over your head, like your little brain. So your big, beautiful brain. And then belonging. For women, that's really usually yellow because unfortunately, there's still a lot of gender inequity. So the belonging is yellow for women in medicine typically. Now, what about the design? What do you think? Are you yellow, red, or green on expand your support? Like how much support do you have? You feel like you have a lot of support? A lot of my folks are green on that one. So they're pretty good with their support, although it's really important to have a growth team and a team that holds you accountable, about 5 people. That's what you want to make sure that you do. And then angle your anger. A lot of people are in red in this. They just don't know about anger. They don't know the power of anger or what to do with it or how to take it toward advocacy. And we can talk about that. And then courage. I would say a lot of people are yellow in courage of my clients that have come in to Brain Hammock. So, I think that the neuroscience of courage is like, we feel fear when we're approaching something, that we're not familiar with. But let's go back to this a little bit. When we talk about brain priming, how do you get your brain in that place where you can come up with those big ideas, where you have a positive outlook to go forward? One is fun. So why is it important to think about finding your fun? Because work can be full of frustrations. Work can be lonely. I remember new staff, she said that was her biggest surprise of how lonely it was to be a staff, because she was coming from a residency where she always hung out with so many residents. And that's something really important, to be intentional about building. We talked about expanding your growth team. That is definitely part of the design framework. So Why is fun important? Because a lot of times in medicine, we're nonstop working. We think we just have to go, go, go. And we're just trying to get things done. Like yesterday, I was trying to make it to this golf lesson. I'm new at golf. I'm super new at golf. So I was trying to rush to and try to get all my paperwork done and get through my patient notes. And I was just going, going, going. You know, it was really cute. The clean lady stopped in our office. She's like, how's your day? And I'm trying to move it. She's like, me too, me too. I'm here till 6. It was cute. So the main problem that this Find Your Fun addresses is this social, how we're socialized in medicine to keep working, keep your head down, keep working, keep going, focus, keep going. It's not at all how our neuroscience works. We need to be able to focus and then step back. So we work with this in Brain Hammock is that how will it change things if you know how to help your focus over time and how to help your energy? You can plan your days, you can take breaks within your days. And how does it work? Well, fun is a time of growth, learning, connections, no judgment, which is great. So fun is a really great neuroscience setting. And so there's a great book called The Power of Fun. It's, a journalist dove into the research of fun, and it just really proves why it's so important. And then there's another great book called Love 2.0. That's by Barb Fredrickson. So she's a researcher on positive psychology. And she talks a lot about the importance of connections. Those little moments throughout our day are literally life-saving. They don't have to be somebody that you know for 20, 25 years, but just those connections where you talk to someone, see someone, get to know somebody. Those little touch points throughout the day, she said, are generally like amazingly powerful for our positivity setting. So what will it mean to you if you really learn about how to focus your fun throughout a really busy week? It'll give you clarity. It'll give you the ability to focus. It'll give you the ability to, maintain your energy throughout the day, because we've been socialized to think we just go, go, go. And that's actually not how the brain wants things. Okay, what about, now let's move to protect your melon. So a lot of people, they're kind of yellow in that field of my clients. They know something about it. So why is it important? Well, the brain is our essence, right? The brain makes us us. It helps us work. And we just talked about how work gives us meaning in life. It helps us serve our communities. It helps us learn. It helps us care for our families. And what problem does it address? It addresses the problem of the lack of knowledge about the neuroscience of how to prime your brain for a busy day. We just don't learn these things, right? Like we learn how to prepare for a run. We learn how to do a 5K. We never learn how to neuroscience wise take care of our brain for a busy day and support it so we can get all we can from it, right? And just really help this world and use all our gifts to make this world a better place. That's what we're after. So we really, how will it change things? Well, we are at high risk for burnout if we are in healthcare. The recent literature is super scary. And I'm a neurologist. Neurology has the highest rate right now in a survey that Mayo does called My Wellbeing Index. It was neurology and then emergency medicine, and it's really shocking. But there's some suggestions that cognitive, and this is not my bias, this is what the literature shows, that, cognitive specialties do take a lot of time with the patients. I treat multiple sclerosis most of my day, and that is a brain disorder and spinal cord disorder. So, people can have symptoms in any of those places, right? So support is needed. And why would we leave it to chance? If we work in a really high risk profession, why would we leave it to chance? Because we went to all that school, right? We don't want to just throw it away. So this works through decreasing the burnout risk by knowing exactly what your neuroscience needs. It's like fortifying, right? Like building a fort or fortifying yourself because you work in a high risk profession. Okay, back to the third, brain prime, the fine tune. Well, I would say, a lot of my folks are in they're still in the yellow on this one. They know some things about it. Why is it important? Well, there's a lot of stress and increased hours that come in medicine. And we tend to have this magical thinking that our emotions come from our heart. And I don't know why, but we keep talking about that, and that emotions come from the heart, and they don't. And so we don't really talk about the neuroscience in a realistic way. And so how could focusing on fine-tuning your energy throughout your work day, your work week, what could it do? Well, it could help your focus. It could help your energy. We wouldn't have that big afternoon, like go try to find caffeine or chocolate or something. Also, if you can learn how to balance, you can turn up your positive state, which is important. So we can kind of manipulate that a little bit with some behaviors. There's Dr. Boyatzis, who's at the Weatherhead School of Business, who's written some interesting books on this, and teaches coaching and is active in the MBA school, has done some interesting functional MRI studies about the power of, using your emotion, meaning that your meaning, your purpose, envisioning like what's important to you when you're planning your personal or professional development. Because if it emotionally doesn't mean anything to you, we don't put any energy toward it. So knowing how to, reach deep and figure out what's important to you is really important. We do that within Brain Hammock all the time. That is part of the framework, the 9-step framework. And then we do talk about rebalancing throughout our busy days. Okay, so we got a chance to go over 3 of these in Brain Prime. There's 3 in each, so we have a total of 9 within the framework, how to prime, align, and design. Okay, so I'm going to close the whiteboard and we'll go back to our slides so we can finish up. Keep going. So which one was your favorite? So again, a beautiful lily pad. What part of the framework was your favorite? Let me check the chat. Okay, people like the fun. Of course, you got to like the fun. I mean, you cannot leave that to chance. You need to rebalance between work and fun and work and home. You can't only work. It's a recipe for disaster, right? Somebody likes protect your melon. Good, good, good. Love it. Okay, so here's what we learned. We talked about steps to make sense of the challenges in medicine, insights into the culture of medicine. We talked about those 3 layers, the iceberg, how the tip of the iceberg is that one that's really hard to define. And there's a lot of assumptions and belief. And we have to really get to know that because otherwise we are not navigating with full clarity, right, of the culture that we're in. And we did talk about how Brain Wonder can help us just staying curious, learning about a new framework, learning about some new tools. And unfortunately, many of our colleagues are in emotional distress because of the risk of burnout. That new Mayo literature said 40% of the healthcare workers are in emotional distress right now. And that was a fresh survey. So that's really concerning because our emotional level is contagious to others. So we work in an environment where a lot of us, 4 out of 10 of us, are in emotional distress throughout the day, and we could feel it. And we, a lot of times, will assume that feeling too. So we have to do something to fortify ourselves because we work in that environment. So I love this clear neuroscience-based framework. It helped me a lot to navigate medicine for 30 years, and it's to help my clients within Brain Fresh. And I have this monthly membership now, so we can keep working on it, building on it, learning together in a safe place for women docs. And I use information from other professions because I don't feel like we have all the answers in medicine. Burnout has been around since the 70s, early 70s, and it's still there. And I really was hoping all of this would be gone and it would be a better environment and culture by the time I was thinking of leaving medicine. And it's still there, and it's worse, actually. And of course, COVID was a huge problem, but it was there before as well. But there are solutions, and there's solutions to help us feel our purpose and find our meaning and not leave it to chance, not let someone else dictate what is important to us. So I like to call this, Brain Wonder, and talk about the lily pads. So we use the PAD. So we use the brain priming, aligning, designing. So you can be that beautiful lily flower there, and the beautiful lily pads. And we know culture is like that pond underneath. It's full of a lot of things, but it's hard to see at times. So we all have choices, right? We were here to learn today. This is not a non-judgmental space. Absolutely, there's no judgment here. But you can take action, or you can keep going the way you're going, and that's fine. It's up to you. I wasn't okay with my status quo and the status quo of the environment I was in, as far as opportunities for growth for me and opportunities to find joy and to meet new people. And so that's why I also am still in medicine, but I also built businesses and got business coaches. And now I'm learning how to coach women who are ready to start businesses. So I love learning, and I love to kind of put things into place, figure it out, figure out the systems, and help other people also figure out the systems. So I love talking about this like a brain support, a hammock of support, because we do work in a high-risk profession. So that's Dr. Boyatzis, who I referred to earlier. I'm a big fan of his. He's done some really interesting research. But this study is from Ballou et al. From his team. And what it showed, even in older people who are 45 to 55, if you call that older, if they link to both parts of their brain, both their emotion, like what's important to them, where's the meaning, the purpose, and built new skills, they were 40 to 75% more likely to see improvements and to have sustained improvements over time. So if you just want to read a book and you don't think about what's important to you, that aligning with what's important to you, it won't have such long-lasting effect. It won't be a long-lasting solution for you. That's what this suggests. So it's really important to think of both parts of us, because that is what the brain is driven by, both parts. We're both emotional and logical, right? So how can I help? So I have a monthly membership. I refer to it as Brain Hammock, because I like to think of it as support, so that you could just go out and make this world a better place with all your unique gifts and strengths, and who's a right fit for it. I would say a woman doc who's curious, looking for some more options, looking for maybe new tools, some new strategies, something to kind of follow, a path to follow, some help navigating medicine. That's what I was looking for some years back. That's why I built this, and went around and looked and dug into the literature. Why do I do this? Well, the reason I have Girl Scouts up there is because I've been a Girl Scout leader I have 3 daughters, to all of their troops. So I have been a Girl Scout leader for years and years, and 3 different troops, because I believe in the power of girls and women. All the literature suggests if the women have more power, the societies are lifted. And I believe in that deeply. And that is definitely one of my strong values. And I'm willing to put time and energy toward that. And I want to help. And I wish I had this information and this framework earlier in my own career. I have the link here for folks who attended the webinar, made it to the end. You can copy that link, put it in, and then there's a coupon for you. So you have a discount to enter Hammock. Right now, I'm offering free coaching within Hammock. There is a fee for the monthly membership, but there's free coaching right now because I'm learning coaching training. So I have to get so many hours in my training. So I'm glad to work with you, because I've already been trained as a coach, but now I'm learning new coaching skills in regards to women starting businesses, thinking about a business, just curious about that, or already started and want to see it grow even more. So that's what Brain Hammock is, a monthly membership. You have the time management course, the productivity course, and then also all the framework. We go through this 9-step framework regularly, so we can make it our own. And then I help give you those resources to link to find your strengths, your values, etc. So if you're just wishing for more support and new strategies, check it out. So here's the link. All you have to do is hit enroll. There's a fee once a month. There's a coupon for you since you enrolled. The coupon is surprise. So just put that in when I ask you for the coupon. And then you'll have the information come to your email. You could put it on your phone. You could, there's an app if you want, or you could just email me with questions if you're like, well, hey, I want to know this or that about the membership, or come in for a month and check it out, whatever works for you. I would love to see you and work with you, and, just use these strategies to help you feel empowered, clear, enthused. I think that's the way we're socialized in medicine. We're very hesitant to take risks, because in medicine, when we're caring for patients, we're very cautious, right? We want to be certain that we're not going to hurt anybody. We're only going to care for folks. But when we're talking about our personal development, our professional development, we can take a few more risks. And that's what we talk about in the framework, the 3-step framework on brain design, about building, your MVP, which is a minimal viable product, just like the cool entrepreneurs. So I walk you through all this. I walk with you through this. You're not on your own. You don't have to do it all by yourself. I'm there with you, and I kind of give you tips along the way, what's worked for me and my other clients. Okay. So reach out with your questions. I'm so honored that you attended. Thank you. Thank you. Remember the coupon surprise. It's just good till, just for the next week after the webinar. So make sure you use it soon. And I'd love to see you in Brain Hammock. Reach out with any questions, thebrainfresh@gmail.com. Okay. You got this, guys. Thank you for all you do for so many. Oh my gosh. I really am honored.